In the last episode, we talked about conditioning and the importance of self-awareness. This episode is going to continue on that theme, but instead focus on courage. The courage to maybe do it different. So, here we go. Humans are tribal creatures. We always have been. For most of human history, belonging meant survival. If the tribe rejected you, you were vulnerable, alone, exposed, at risk. And even though modern life looks very different now, the nervous system remembers. And that matters more than most people realize, because many human behaviors that appear rational on the surface are actually driven by an ancient fear of social exile, or disapproval, or rejection, or being the outsider. Once you understand that, a lot of modern human behavior suddenly makes much more sense. Why do we stay silent? Why do we let our standards drift? Why do weak ideas spread like wildfire? Why do groups become irrational? Why do intelligent people fake agreement? And why do leaders avoid difficult conversations? Most of the time, it's not because they're protecting the truth. It's because they're protecting belonging. And those are not the same thing. One of the most uncomfortable truths about human psychology is that people dramatically underestimate how influenced they are by groups that they want to be involved in. There are famous psychological experiments that demonstrated this decades ago. And it doesn't happen because people are stupid. It's because social pressure is just so powerful. In the Solomon Asch conformity experiments, participants knowingly gave incorrect answers simply because the rest of the group did. The group answered incorrectly, and individuals that were being studied often followed the group despite seeing reality themselves differently. I hope that bothers you at least a little, because most people like to imagine that they would be the independent thinker in that room, the courageous dissenter, the calm, rational actor. But social pressure changes perception faster than people realize, especially if status or identity or relationships or career stability or public visibility is involved. And in modern life, social pressure is constant with social media. Now, I say all this not to lecture you, but to let you in on my world. I feel that. I do that. I notice that. And that's why I'm talking about it. Okay, let's keep going. Social media amplifies this dramatically because now approval is measured by the visible quantification of likes and shares and thumbs up and followers. Human beings adapt quickly to reward systems. Social media companies have learned this and harnessed this with their algorithms and the way that things are promoted and how long our eyeballs stay stuck on certain things. Even adults who believe they are highly independent often unconsciously shape their behavior around approval. Reinforcement works. Recognition works. Over time, people may stop expressing what they actually believe and instead express what feels socially survivable. And it creates something dangerous, which is performative agreement. People start saying things because they're safe or they're rewarded. They want to avoid friction. They want to maintain the status quo. And eventually, entire environments become distorted because nobody wants to become the person who disrupts the social equilibrium. Think about this. This has happened in your social groups. It's happened at your place of work. It's happened at your interactions online. It doesn't matter where you work, what company, healthcare environment, dental office, family, friend group, politics. It doesn't matter. It's everywhere. And the longer it continues, the more that honesty quietly disappears. And this is where leadership starts to become so important and difficult, because maintaining standards under social pressure is emotionally expensive. It's easy to have standards in private. It's much harder to maintain them publicly. especially when disagreement is going to create tension in difficult conversations, or accountability is uncomfortable, or honesty threatens belonging in a group, and courage risks reputation. It's why many organizations slowly drift out of stated standards. People avoid friction. One of the biggest leadership failures is discomfort avoidance. Protecting short-term harmony while quietly sacrificing long-term integrity. The trade happens constantly. And humans are amazing at rationalizing it. Here's what I would like to share. That's one of the most important lessons for today, at least. Agreement and integrity are not the same thing. Many people confuse social smoothness with leadership. They think that avoiding tension is maturity, and that universal approval is effectiveness, and that endless empathy is strength, and that agreement means alignment. But real alignment comes through friction. Healthy systems require corrective pressures. If nobody can disagree honestly, the culture is fragile, not healthy. And this becomes extremely important in teams, because eventually every leader faces moments where the silence feels safer and compromise feels easier and truth becomes socially inconvenient. It's the moment where standards become real. You're putting the rubber to the road. It's not about a motivational speech or a workshop or that team meeting that everybody agrees on. It's about standards under pressure showing themselves. Now, this conversation can go sideways pretty quickly if you misunderstand what I'm saying. The goal is to not to become emotionally detached or combative or turn every team meeting into a disagreement that people are proud of. That's just another form of conditioning. The goal is something much more difficult. Maintain your identity while remaining connected to others. It requires emotional regulation because many people either collapse into conformity or swing into active rebellion. And both are unstable. So the stronger position is calm conviction. Think independently, remain emotionally grounded, tolerate disagreement, maintain curiosity, and preserve relationships without surrendering standards. It's difficult, but that's leadership. It doesn't have to be dramatic, and it usually isn't. Courage can be quiet. It can show its face in a difficult conversation, an honest, real disagreement, maintaining a standard, refusing to fake agreement in face of pressure, and a willingness to risk approval of the crowd. Because the pressure to belong is one of the strongest forces shaping our behavior. It always has been, which means that leadership is not simply about being smart. It's about maintaining integrity under that social pressure. And if your standards disappear the moment belonging feels threatened, they were never standards. They were preferences. How many times do I have to say it? Question, create, inspire.